Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to episode number 31 of the Cleveland Indians franchise here on MLB The Show 21 for the PlayStation 5. Today our Indians are back after the All-Star break with a couple of road series against the AL West, and look who is back in the dugout. Jose Ramirez will join the club on the flip side of the break, so if you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and subscribe down below. We hit 450, only 50 more until we hit the big 500. Frankie Montas on the mound for Oakland, who are wearing their Kelly Green jerseys here at home. 2.95 ERA on the season for him. He'll start off against Ahmed Rosario, hitting 266, who draws a full count walk to begin the day here at the Coliseum. Cesar Hernandez is up next, 1-2 to him, and he lines a fastball right up the middle into center field. And Cleveland has two quick base runners. However, Rosario is thrown out trying to be greedy and take third. So that's the first out of the inning. Nice throw by Ramon Laureano from center field. Next up, Francisco Reyes swings through his slider running away. That's now the second out of the inning. Then Eddie Rosario up next, 0-1, flies a fastball into center. And that's how Cleveland's top of the first will go. On the mound for the Indians will be Aaron Savale, whose 2.36 ERA on the season has been phenomenal with a 12-3 record, .89 whip. 83 strikeouts in 114 and third innings pitched. He'll start off his day against the longtime former Ranger, Elvis Andrus, who leads the Athletics in stolen bases. And on the very first pitch of the day, he grounds it to Ramirez at third, who will throw him out at first. And we'll take a look at Oakland's lineup here today. Just saw Elvis Andrus. Next we'll see Jed Lowry, followed by Olson, Chapman, Seth Brown, Ramon Laureano, Stephen Piscotty, Chad Pinner, and Aramis Garcia, the catcher. This Athletic squad in the bottom third in the American League in runs scored this season. Here's Jed Lowry up next. First pitch to him as well. He's also swinging. He pops this one up into foul territory at the third base coaching box. Ramirez will have out number 2. The very next pitch, Matt Olson, first pitch of his at-bat, but he will hit it into left field. So not a 3-pitch inning for Savale, as Olson does reach first base. And that'll bring up Matt Chapman, who's also going to first pitch swing, and he'll hit this one into left, where Eddie will have it up for this one. So 4 pitches. All the batters first pitch swinging for Oakland. Top of the second will go to Josh Naylor now, who hits a 3-1 fastball into center for out number 1. That'll bring up now Andres Jimenez, 2-2 to him, and he looks at strike 3 on the slider. I guess he just got locked up. That'll bring up Jose Ramirez, who is first game back off the injured list. 22 home runs, still second on the team despite being hurt for the past week. First pitch from Montas, he tries to turn it on, he lines it to the first baseman, Olson, who will put it away. No, nothing in the top of the second for the Indians. Sticking with them, top 3 now. Luplo at the dish. 1-2 fastball is hit deep into left center. That'll be put away, though, by Laureano. Now Roberto Perez, the catcher, 2-1. Chops it to the third base side. That one's fielded cleanly, thrown over to first. And that's 2 outs for Cleveland as they go back to the top of the order. Ahmed Rosario now 0-1, perfectly turns on a pitch into left center. This one's going to be off of the wall, and Ahmed Rosario will have a 2-out double here in the top of the third. Next up, Cesar Hernandez, 2-0 to him. He gets a nice fastball. He bloops this one to left center. Rosario was going, and he will score on the 2-out single by Hernandez, and Cleveland has the first run of the game. And then the next batter, Reyes, hits this one to left. It stays fair and is out of here. A 2-run shot by Francisco Reyes, his 25th homer of the season. 4-12 down the line. Just like that, went from a scoreless game to a 3-0 lead for the Indians, all within 2 outs. Eddie Rosario up next, 2-2 to him. He gets the splitter. He turns it on a little too early. That'll end the top of the third, but the Indians do get 3 runs here in this inning. How about top 4 staying with Cleveland still? Looking at all their at-bats today as Josh Naylor begins the inning with a ground out to first. That means Andres Jimenez is up next. He gets a full count fastball, and look at that grab over there at third base. Nice jumping grab for the second outs. And then Ramirez, though, up next. Fastball 1-1, hits it to right. It is off of the scoreboard. And another 2-out double for Cleveland, this time by Ramirez. That brings up Jordan Luplo, who walks on 5 pitches. So inning not over yet for Montas. Roberto Perez now 2-2, hits it right up the middle into center. Ramirez has the speed to score, and Cleveland takes a 4-0 lead here in the top of the fourth. Next batter, Ahmed Rosario, 2-0 fastball connects, hits it to deep left center. Laureano dives but cannot make the grab. One run will come around and score, another one coming as well, and Rosario gets into third with a 2 RBI triple. Another 2-out rally for Cleveland extends their lead to 6-0 here in the fourth. And that'll be it for Montas. Yusmeiro Petit will come out of the pen for his 51st appearance on the season. And the next batter, Cesar Hernandez, he will get him to look at strike 3. Nice fastball in the corner. But Cleveland takes a 6-0 lead. We'll have to see if Oakland has any sort of answer here in the bottom of the 5th. Seth Brown is your leadoff man. 0-2 to him, and he strikes out on the inside cutter. That'll be the first one down. Here is Savale in terms of ERA leaders. He is in the top 5 in the American League. Laureano up next, 0-1, connects, puts it into right field, so a base hit here for Oakland with 1 out, gives them a base runner. And Steven Piscotty up next, though, grounds it to Ramirez, 5-4-3 double play, ends the 5th in 1-2-3 fashion. Lou Trevino will come into the mound later for the Athletics 4-0 ERA in his 31 appearances on the season. And in the 8th inning, Eddie Rosario takes him deep to right. That one stays of the foul pole. A solo shot for Eddie, his 13th home run of the season. Trevino actually came in an inning earlier. This is his 2nd inning of work, but Eddie wastes no time in his at-bat getting a hold of that one. Extends the lead now 7-0 for the Indians. How about Josh Naylor up next? 1-0 fastball, hits it into left center. That'll be the first out of the inning. That brings up next Andres Jimenez, who on a 1-1 pitch perfectly connects into the gap as well. Fastball takes it the other way, and Jimenez has some speed, so he will have an easy 1-out double. And for Jimenez, that's his 12th double of the season. Jose Ramirez up next, trying to bring him home. It's a fastball into right center. This one is over the head of Piscotty. Jimenez did hold, however, so he will only get to third. That's a double for Ramirez, but no runs will score. Up next, Jordan Luplow, 1-0 fastball connects into right. This one gets down. Jimenez will come home and score. Ramirez is thrown out trying to go to third, but Cleveland takes an 8-0 lead here in the 8th. Perez up next will fly out into right, but now at this point, Cleveland has an 8-0 lead. And going into the 9th, look who's still in the game for Cleveland. Aaron Savale on pitch number 98 gets Andres to ground out to the second baseman Hernandez. Throws the first, and Savale has a complete game shutout as Cleveland takes game 1 of this series 8-0 out of the All-Star break. Very solid showing for the Indians, who are in the thick of the wild card race. They take the first of this series. Nice pitching by Savale, a complete game 2-hitter. Nets him his 13th win of the season. Montas gets the loss. And player of the game will go to, in fact, Aaron Savale. 9 innings of work, 8 strikeouts, only 2 hits given up. You kind of have to give him player of the game for that one. Before we get into the next game, there was a couple of trades, one during the All-Star break, one after. The Reds pick up Rowdy Tellez from the Blue Jays for Tyler Callahan, and the Braves acquire Ramel Tapia from the Rockies for a starting pitching prospect. Both these trades make sense. The Reds are competing for the NL Central, which is pretty weak, so they pick up Rowdy Tellez, who can give them a nice solid lefty bat. For Tyler Callahan, a second base prospect, be potential 65 overall. I mean, when you acquire somebody, you got to give somebody back. And the Braves, who are in the hunt for a playoff spot as well, they acquire Ramel Tapia, who had a phenomenal pandemic season last year, hitting .257 this year, gives them some help in the outfield, and they also give up a B potential prospect in starting pitcher Bryce Wilson, who will come in immediately for the Rockies once he gets off of the injured list. So both trades actually making sense in MLB The Show 21, so that's good to see. In Game 2, we do drop, though, to Oakland 2-1 in a low-scoring affair. Seth Brown with the offense for Oakland, as Plesac, despite 7 strong innings, gets the loss. Game 3, though, we do take 5-3 in this one, so we do come on top in the series. Also went yard for Oakland, but we were able to pick up the win thanks to our 5-run score. In the second half of the episode, we will travel to Houston now to face Jake Odorizzi and the Houston Astros squad. Faced them a couple weeks ago, absolutely demolished them in the game that we watched. But this Astros squad still sits 58-36, still a very good team. So this will also be a good gauge for the Indians to see where we stand. Rocking the orange home jerseys for Houston at Minute Maid Park. Odorizzi takes the mound for his only 4th start of the season, despite getting some work out of the bullpen. He's got a 3.98 ERA, 1.33 WHIP, something to keep an eye out for. And he'll start off his day against Ahmed Rosario, currently riding a 9-game hitting streak. And the very first pitch from he sees, he will hit it into deep left center. Straw is back though and will make the grab. So allowed out number 1 as we take a look at Cleveland's lineup for this ball game. About what we saw last game. This is Rosario, Hernandez, Reyes, Rosario, Naylor, Jimenez, Ramirez, Lupolo, and Perez. Jose Ramirez hitting 293 now with 23 homers, 66 RBIs. It's great to have him back in that lineup. Only hitting in the 7th spot though. Cesar Hernandez up next, 2-2 splitter. Flies out to second baseman Altuve for out number 2. And that'll bring up Franmil Reyes, who tries to turn on the first pitch he sees. He also pops this one up. Correa will have this one. And that's how the top of the first will end. On the mound for Cleveland, it'll be Logan Allen, the lefty starting pitcher, who making his 19th appearance of the season. Pitched 100 innings, 286 ERA, pretty solid. He has about a comparable whip, though, to Odorizzi. Lead off for the Astros will be Michael Brantley, who on the very first pitch he sees will put it down the right field line. And within no time, Houston has an extra base hit as Brantley will get into second base easy to start the first. Yuli Gurriel up next. He looks at a full count pitch. I don't know why he didn't swing at that one, but that's out number 1. And then Alvarez up next, though, will hit this one into the right center gap. So Brantley will score, and the Astros will draw first blood thanks to the RBI single of Yordan Alvarez. Carlos Correa up next, 2-2. He turns on a slider, hits it to left center. Eddie does have enough for that one, however. So that'll be out number 2. And we'll take a look at Houston's lineup now. We just saw the first 4 batters for the Astros, but up next we will see Jose Altuve, who is hot in his past 10 games, 12 out of 35 with a 3.43 average. Kyle Tucker will then be right field, Jose Siri in center, followed by Abraham Toro at third. Catcher is Martin Maldonado. So the Astros obviously not at full strength for this one, but here is the former AL MVP with a single into center, trying to keep this hit train going for Houston. And then Kyle Tucker 3-1 hits one into right center. Ahmed, though, will have that one. But Houston does push across one in the bottom of the first. We'll go to top 3 now with Cleveland. Here's Jordan Lupolo at the dish, doing very well against lefties. Not so good against righties this season, but he is facing a righty today in Jake Odorizzi. 2-2-2 Lupolo, and he hits a fastball, grounds it over to third base where Toro will quickly throw him out at first base. Roberto Perez up next, 3-1 to him, and he will draw the walk inside. Pitch doesn't connect, so that'll put a runner on first for Ahmed Rosario. On the very first pitch he sees, drills a fastball right down the middle off of the MLB Network sign in left center. Way out of here. Rosario's 7th home run of the season. That'll put Cleveland up top now, 2-1. As a fastball right down the middle of the plate. Even Ahmed will take that 1 yard. 2-1 Indians now for Cesar Hernandez. With 1 out, we'll dribble this one to Altuve. That'll be the 2nd out of the inning. Next up, Franmil Reyes, 3-1 to Odorizzi. He gets a cutter, and he will drill it to left, trying to wave it fair. It is indeed fair. It actually barely clears the wall. I don't know why they gave us that animation. It only went at 330 down the left field line, but it is a home run, his 26th home run of the season. That is in the top 5 in the American League. And Reyes will extend the Cleveland lead. Now they're up 3-1. As Eddie Rosario up next will strike out to end the third. But Cleveland does take the lead. We'll stick with them here in the top of the 4th. Josh Naylor up first. 1-2 splitter is put into right center field before being caught off by Siri. But Naylor tries to take 2, and he does succeed. So that's a leadoff double now for Cleveland. Andres Jimenez up next. 0-1 to him. Splitter. He's going to hit it in the exact same location. As that'll be into the gap. The run will score, and Jimenez has got speed. He will make it to third with an RBI triple, pushing Cleveland now out 4-1. The 3rd triple this season for Jimenez. Next batter, Ramirez. First pitch swinging. Slider is going to be hit deep off of the wall out in left, so that'll be another RBI for Cleveland. And he was at second base before that one was even grabbed, so Cleveland now up 5-1 thanks to Ramirez's shot. Still nobody out. Jordan Lupolo up next. 2-1 hits this one up the middle. This will be the first out of the inning, but Ramirez will advance to third. And I'll bring up Roberto Perez, who on an 0-2 pitch hits it down the line. Third baseman Toro fumbles it, and he'll throw out Perez at first, but that allows Ramirez to score for the 6th run of the ball game. Now back to the top of the lineup, 3-1. Rosario's not done this inning. That's a single into right, trying to keep the inning alive. Cesar Hernandez now. First pitch swinging, fastball drilled into the gap. That one's going to get down in front of Siri, and that'll be a double. Runners now on second and third for Cleveland, and that'll do it for Odorizzi. Christian Javier will come into this ball game with a 5.24 ERA, looking to strand both runners on second and third. And Reyes up next, 1-1. Will take a slider into right, but it will be caught by Kyle Tucker, so he does strand the runs. Let's go back to Houston's offense. Shally has been relatively quiet since that first inning. Logan Allen gets a strikeout to begin the 5th. And then Maldonado will also go down. So that's the 5th and 6th of the day for Allen. And then Brantley, who has one of the hits for Houston today, will pop up into right. So Allen puts together 5 strong innings in this ballgame. Phil Maton will come in later, who has struggled to say the least. We've seen that in basically every episode as his ERA has ballooned up to 7.27. And he will, here in the 6th inning, he will begin with a Gurriel ground out right back up to him. And then I'll bring up Yordan Alvarez full count, who rips it right into the shift. That'll be a quick second out. But that'll bring up Carlos Correa. 3-1 to Correa, and he blasts one, a laser into left off of the signs out there. A solo shot for Houston as Maton. You know he couldn't go 1, 2, 3. Correa, only his 5th home run, though, of the season. Gives Houston a run back as they cut into Cleveland's deficit. And Maton gives up another long ball. 6-2 now for the Indians. Altuve up next does pop up, so Maton just gives up the solo shot here in the 6th. And we'll go down to the top of the 8th, where Javier still on the mound, has Rosario in the ballgame, who draws a leadoff walk. Josh Naylor up next now. 3-2 hits a hanging curveball down the line. Gurriel stabs at it, and they're actually able to get the runner at second and get the lead man. Naylor was safe at first, so now it's 1 out. And Jimenez up next perfectly hits one into the gap. That'll get up against the wall out there by the bullpen. And Naylor's got enough speed where he will come around and score an RBI triple again for Andres Jimenez. That'll be his 4th triple now of the season. 7-2 Indians. And then Ramirez, the next batter, gets another hanging curveball and hits this one into the right center gap. Another run for Cleveland, an RBI double for Ramirez. 8-2 Cleveland. Their offense clicking on all cylinders. That'll actually knock out Javier, where Austin Pruitt now will come into the ball game with a 3.86 ERA. Lupo with that runner on second will drill this one to left, way out of here on the very first pitch he sees. That wasn't even a power swing, but it might as well have been. 15th for Jordan Luplo on the season. That gives Cleveland 10 runs, now 10-2 in the top of the 8th. And this ball game is all but over. We'll get to the end of it. Cleveland actually puts up another one thanks to Andres Jimenez, and they win this one 11-2, taking Game 1 in another statement win against the AL West Houston Astros, proving that the Cleveland Indians are, in fact, a threat to watch out for in the playoffs. 11 runs on 14 hits for Cleveland, 2 for 6 for Houston. Allen gets the win, Odorizzi gets the loss, and Jimenez gets player of the game, 2 triples and a double, going 3 for 5 on the day, as well as his 3 RBIs. So a big win for Cleveland, and they go to sim the next one as Austin Hedges sprains his knee ligament, so now we need a backup catcher. We do win Game 2 4-1 thanks to a 3-run 7th. Jimenez goes yard in this one. He has been hot to start this series. Bieber goes 8 strong, 14 Ks, nothing for Bieber. In order to get our backup catcher, we will call up Ryan Lavarnway, who has some Major League experience. The former Miami Marlin a season ago did good in 11 at-bats. So he will be the backup catcher while Austin Hedges is on the IL. Game 3, we do lose to Houston, so we do not sweep the Astros 6-1. Only 2 hits mustered up in this one for us, as Seville was rocked in this ballgame, to say the least. Up next, we have a 4-game homestand against the Tampa Bay Rays, as well as a 2-game homestand against the Cardinals, as we return back To Progressive Field, looking to continue this hot start after the All-Star break, we will see Zach Plesac and an AL Cy Young leader in Ryan Yarbrough. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe down below, especially since we push forward to 500. And of course, especially if you want more franchise content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.